We knew that the new IPCC report on the current state of climate change and projections going into the future was gonna happen today, and that it was likely to be negative. Well, it's here. Oh boy, is it negative. We've apparently entered into unprecedented territory that is being called by the UN Secretary General a code red for humanity. So we are moving into a place with our climate where computer model projections for what is likely to happen in the future are becoming increasingly difficult because we don't have a lot of past data to inform these models with. In the past, we'd have been able to look back at previous periods of heating and things like that and assume that things might go like that. But we, like, literally they're saying we have to go back to when the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs hit for a period of heating in such a short period of time. Now, let's get into some of the conclusions, and there is a lot. Nations have delayed curbing their fossil fuel emissions for so long that they can no longer stop global warming from intensifying over the next 30 years, though there is still a short window to prevent the most harrowing future. And are you entering into fun territory when the future can be described as harrowing? And when, if you do everything that you can, there's still an implication that the future is gonna be harrowing. It just won't be the most harrowing. But anyway, carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has risen to levels not seen in 2 million years, according to the authors. And by the way, this report was put together by 234 authors relying on more than 14,000 studies from around the globe. Or, as I'm sure it'll be greeted on Fox News, a bunch of fake news. Anyway, the oceans are turning acidic, sea levels continue to rise, Arctic ice is disintegrating, weather-related disasters are growing more extreme and affecting every region of the world. And when we start to talk about the conclusions, the level of certainty that the authors can talk about what they think is likely to happen, we are far away from the 2 decades ago, like scientists coming out in their white coat and saying, well, I think this might be bad times. Maybe you might want to look into doing something. No, they're not there anymore. The report's 42-page summary for policymakers uses the phrase virtually certain nearly a dozen times. The words high confidence come up more than 100 times. And the rate of sea level rise, the retreat of ice sheets and glaciers, and the acidity of the oceans are all described as unprecedented in the past several thousand years. So, Francesca, they are not really playing games anymore. It took them a long time to move past them. Unfortunately, as of right now, we're still playing games. So, thoughts?
At least Seattle's gonna have nice summers all year round, all the time. Yeah, no, obviously this is devastating and upsetting. And also we knew it. Like every time the IPCC releases a report every 7 years, and I feel like every time they release a report, we're always like finding out how many years left we have to prevent the ultimate doom and gloom, like not just like some forests burning and like some people losing their homes, but like everyone running for their bunkers if they have them. So they come out and it's like, they release like the white smoke, like they're announcing a new pope, and they're just like 4 years left. And then we're just like, oh God, okay, we got 4 years. What am I gonna do in 4 years? And it's, and then we just sort of like shudder and wait for them to tell us how much we're effing up the planet. And we already knew we were.
Yeah.
But like the real thing is obviously what are we gonna do about it? But yes, we knew this amount of devastation was happening. We can see it before our very eyes. You talk about 30 years, that's like this is our lifetimes, right? It's sort of the rest of our lives. And I think especially for folks, and especially for folks our age, like 21, it's sort of it is a wake up call of what are we doing with this life? What are we doing? How are we ensuring if this is the last generation that can truly stop this, how are we going to work towards that in the next 30 years of our lives or not?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and we obviously we have to talk about this. I'm hoping it's a big news story. I mean, we'll see. This is like the biggest, most important one of these reports since 8 years ago. We'll see if people care. But it kind of has the feel of, and you tell me if I'm wrong, like, I go to the doctor once every 2 years or 4 years for a physical or whatever. And every
in this
time,
economy, once every 9. Okay.
Every once in a while when I remember that, oh yeah, people go to doctors like routinely. Anyway, I'll go and they'll slap the thing on and then they'll put you on a scale and you'll look at it and then you'll look at the doctor and the doctor will just look at you and you're like, yeah, no, this is proceeding the way you said it would if nothing changed. But I think we'll see what happens in the next 4 years. I'm sure that doing the same thing, consuming the same things will result in wildly different outcomes. Nope, it isn't. But you know what? Whatever. It's just our planet, I guess. So it has that vibe of like, oh, surely this will break through, he said naively. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.